everyone, and welcome to Having a Problem. I'm Nikki Druce.
And I'm Neil Murray.
It's Neil's first time doing a podcast, and so far he's engrossed in his phone, so it's going well.
I'm opening up links here for relevant content.
Okay, we're getting there.
Yeah.
This is a show called Having a Problem. Why have we called it Having a Problem? And firstly, who are you?
I've been sent from the centre of YouTube because they said that you're not hitting all four quadrants. You've got the true crime thing, you've got the drag queen thing, but what you really need is a white middle-class guy to do your podcast because you're not fulfilling your side of the quota on that. Every podcast has to have a white middle-class guy in it now.
And middle-aged.
And middle-aged, yeah. And medium-sized.
All the mediums.
Yeah.
Extra medium?
I'm extra medium, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to temper the fruitiness of your presentation style with some real boringness.
Oh, am I too fruity? I don't think I've ever been described as too fruity.
You're like a Kipling cake, crusty and fruity.
You can't call me crusty.
I think you're fine, I can.
So Neil Murray is my long-suffering other half. Mm-hmm. We've been together 8 years now.
Yeah.
Known each other for
20?
Probably 20
More?
years. We spent a long time fancying each other, but both of us just kept on going hee and running away for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And then we finally got it together. And now we live together in London. Neil was the one that made me move to London. So therefore you've got him to blame for all of this.
Yeah. And we live in a lovely snug little flat. Some might say small. I say snug. It's very cosy.
Neil tried to gaslight me earlier on into saying our flat was large.
Well, relatively large for London. That's a big qualifier.
It's not a studio flat.
It's relatively large for a cupboard. It's relatively small for a mansion.
The show concept we decided to come up with was you and I have regular problems.
Yeah, on all fronts, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And quite often when we're struggling, we say to each other, are you having a problem?
And yeah, I'm having a problem.
I'm having a problem.
Yeah. So as far as content, I can't see the supply of problems ever really drying up between the two of us.
No, it's true. So the show's concept is we will have a problem with something every week. So the topic this week is...
Robots.
Robots is like one of my core things.
Yeah, Nikki loves a robot.
I do love a robot.
She did a little cry when she heard that you could get robot delivery guys in the area she used to live in. They were testing them.
But I saw one, but I never got one.
No.
They exist. I have the app on my phone just in case it might happen at some point.
I think they've stopped now, though, haven't they?
No,
they
they're still doing them.
They're still doing them. Yeah, it's literally over a main road from us, but they never stray down this side of the road anymore, do they?
No.
We moved like 100 metres and it was out of the robot zone, and Nikki's just been crying ever since.
Yeah, it's true. I did meet a robot once and do a cry, didn't I?
It's true. We went to a robot exhibition at the was it Science Museum? Yeah, with all the AI and stuff. And yeah, she met it was a little teaching robot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was some really spooky child robots and stuff, like really human ones, but there's some cute sort of Wall-E looking robots that
like
had the right balance of
ones.
Not being in the uncanny valley, but just being cute, aren't they? And doing little robot things. You love it.
Yeah, and he made me hold his hands so we could fly away.
Oh, yeah, he told you a little story, didn't
he told me a little story. And then he was like, hold my hands, and put his hands out, and then I cried. I'm still crying now. It's making me cry again. I just bloody love robots. Robots are amazing. But inherently, with this sort of thing, there will be a problem. Yeah. And so we have to get to what the root of the problem is with robots. And then we'll be asking a robot to find out if they can fix the problem with the robots.
Yeah. So we've each got a little bit of news or information we've found on the internet about robots to discuss. And then once we've had a bit of a think about it, we'll feed it into the old faithful ChatGPT and see what solution the internet comes up with for the problem.
Okay. Have you had a problem this week?
We went to Crystal Palace on Saturday to see Iggy Pop and Blondie and various others. And we thought we'd been very clever. We got the bus all the way around to the main entrance, and there was a huge arrow pointing towards the entrance. And we went down there and we asked a guy, and we said, "Is this the way?" And he went, "Oh, it's definitely the way. It's definitely the way." And we walked down this little narrow path, which got narrower and narrower up by a wire fence and forced us into some thorns and eventually ran out. And we persevered for a bit, and then we turned around and walked back up to the guy. And he was like, "Oh yeah, no, it's not down there."
Thanks, mate.
And it turns out the big arrow was pointing in completely the wrong direction,
Yeah.
and the usher pointed us in completely the wrong direction, and we had to walk for ages to get to the actual entrance. And Nikki didn't like that, did you?
No.
No.
This was also going to be my problem of the week as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, can we have a shared problem of the week?
Oh yeah, it was a shared problem because
Yeah.
here's a sponsor we're never going to get, Festival Republic.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
They can't organise anything. They pointed us in the wrong direction twice for this festival on the weekend, and we went to a festival of theirs a couple of years ago in Finsbury Park
5 years ago.
for Queens of the Stone Age, and all the staff had called in sick.
Yeah.
So no word of a lie, the beer queue was 4 hours long.
Yeah.
I've never seen such a bunch of sober, thirsty-looking people at a festival in my entire life.
And there wasn't even water. There was like one water trough.
Yeah.
And that was it.
So yeah, Festival Republic have not pulled their socks up at all about it. It got the day off to a bad start.
Yeah.
We got in there and they only had Carlsberg
Yeah.
for beer as well, which was not good. We're in London, the epicenter of craft beer. You'd think they would have at least some variety, but no.
I
settled for
did see
Carlsberg.
somebody with a can of Hobgoblin, but I ain't drinking that.
Festival Republic, sort your lives out.
Yeah. So now we've burnt that bridge.
P.S. Sponsor us.
By the time I got to the festival, I'd had enough, hadn't I?
Yeah, Nikki was just enraged. She was so enraged she couldn't even bring herself to look at the merch stand.
No, I'd had enough
Because
by
the
that
red
point.
mist had descended.
Yeah, and I was hot and I was sweaty and there was only Carlsberg and I needed a wee, but I'd already been for a wee and I didn't want to then have to go for another wee. And then when I did go for a wee, there was no toilet roll in the toilet, and then I had to find tissues in my bag, and luckily I'd already put some tissues in my bag because I'm smart.
Good. The silver lining was Iggy Pop was great.
Iggy Pop was great.
And Blondie were really good
Blondie
as well.
were really good as well. I was pleasantly surprised. I had a really good time. I did a little cry at Iggy Pop. I'm not one for doing a little cry usually, am I?
Don't let her fool you. She's always at it.
But I've mentioned several times now that I've done a little cry. I don't usually do little cries.
Okay.
Yeah,
I believe you.
Normally pretty tough.
I do a
It's
little
Iggy
cry.
Pop.
The slightest drop of music in any film will just
Make
set me
you do a
off.
little cry.
Yeah.
I remember once you cried at a cat I showed you.
Oh, I
was a
cried
very-
at a picture of
fluffy
a
cat.
polar bear in a bookshop in Cardiff once as well. I went to see Brian Cox and Robin Ince.
Yeah.
And I stopped into TK Maxx to kill some time before I went in. And in the children's section, there was a big book about polar bears. And I had a look and I was like, oh, they're just so... I love polar bears so much.
I remember you did a cry in TK Maxx about something else that we found as well.
Possibly
Spatula.
a bachelor.
I said a spatula.
You won't find any bachelors in TK Maxx. They're all married.
Okay, on that note, shall we move on to find out what the problem is with robots?
Yeah, so hopefully I've grasped the concept of this correctly, and I've found a little news segment about robots and their interactions with humans.
Okay. I take it you're going first then.
Yeah, I'm the guest.
All right. Are you
All right.
going to be the guest every week?
Maybe.
Okay.
Whoever wins gets to go first next time.
How do we win?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So this is a little news clip from May 2023, so pretty recent, on a website called mothership.sg.
sounds legit.
If you want to check my sources and see what you think. So Mothership, the headline is Robot Barista Malfunctions and Pours Coffee Dramatically on the Ground.
On the ground, on the grind?
On the ground, onto the ground.
Oh,
This isn't the one that you've come up with?
no.
No? Okay. It says, one diner quipped the robot had been frightened by its audience.
Oh, frightened.
So the article goes like this. Spills, as any F&B worker would know, are an inevitable part of life in the industry. And this goes for inanimate staff members too. A Facebook user caught a particular robot barista having a bit of a rough day.
Oh.
So user Kato posted the video of the incident on the Facebook group Hawkers United. I'll show you the video in a minute. You can. It's going to work really well.
It works really
in
well
an audio
on podcasts,
format, I think.
Yeah.
She says, this is the reason why robot baristas cannot replace human beings. In the video, the robot accidentally sets the container down askew, eliciting an "ayo" from an onlooker.
Oh.
It then lifts up the jug and promptly starts to execute an impressive coffee pour. And it's doing the old cocktail thing where you pour it from one hand to the other.
Oh, no.
Like in a big brown arc.
Like an arc, yeah.
Except, given the lopsided container, the beverage goes straight onto the floor.
Oh.
Cue alarm from the audience. Oh my goodness, goes an onlooker. as the robot returns the now emptied jug to its original position. As the robot then attempts and fails to pour more coffee, apparently befuddled, a male staff member approaches the machine and readjusts the toppled container. The reactions to the barista robot were mixed. Some counted it as evidence that robots are unable to replace humans, while others were more forgiving. Terry Tan says, "Come on guys, stop cyber-shaming the poor robot.
Oh.
He'll learn eventually and become good enough to replace humans." I think, are you on the side of the robot here?
Oh, I feel like surely the robot has made a mistake. I would have thought that there would be some kind of leveling application that would stop it from picking up something in a weird direction.
Yeah, you would think. I'll show you the video and you realise that it's not like a fully integrated machine.
Ah, okay.
It is. They've got like a robot arm, and then it's just like a stovetop, like a normal kitchen.
Right.
With a big kettle on the stovetop he's trying to pour it into.
Okay.
So I think you could easily forgive him for not putting it down flat. The guy that stood there doing it is having trouble putting it down flat. Another reader, Eugene Chan, said, "New workers also need to learn and make some mistakes along the way. Same with automation."
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Imagine if it's a person behind there and you take this video and he spilled the coffee. Would you go AO?
Well, I probably would go AO.
So that's the article. That's the whole article.
Okay.
Have a look at the little videos.
Of course, you've been accosted by a cat now, so you can't actually stand
Yeah,
up
I'm going
to
to have to
hand me
throw
your phone.
this across the
Don't throw it
room
at me,
to you.
or else I'll go AO.
So there's a still picture at the top, and if you scroll down, there's a couple of little videos of it all going wrong and the robot having a problem.
Okay, I'm going to watch the video now and live react to it.
Oh, it's not like a full video link, it's just a little GIF.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it won't take you long.
Oh no, so yeah, I see what he's done there. So he's put it down, but then he's let go, but then the coffee pot has fallen.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to he's picked up the other one and he's trying to pour it in. But he can't do that because it's now sideways.
Yeah, it's like doing something in our kitchen where there's a bunch of crap lying around all over the place. It's not
Yeah.
like a sterile factory situation.
No. But then the guy that's working there puts his hand inside the coffee pot, which
Yeah.
seems like a really bad idea.
I don't think this robot's had the best trainers in the world, to be honest.
No, it doesn't look like it. But then he manages it after that.
I'm not sure if this is something that needs to be done.
I don't
really.
think it needs to be done. I think it's a bit of a gimmick.
Yeah, I think a coffee machine, a Max Pax, could produce a cup of coffee without
And
spillage.
That is a robot.
But we love a more humanoid robot, don't we?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, a big box is all very well, but it's
You can
not.
put googly eyes on it.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like the future. You want robot arms at the very least, don't you? And that's what they've done here.
I quite like a 70s style looking robot though.
Yeah, they brought in a robot arm where
An actual
an
arm.
espresso machine
Yeah.
could work fine.
Yeah.
And we think, oh, these things aren't robots in our houses, but we want an actual little man, don't we? A little robot man to do stuff for us. That's the dream.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's job is in danger there.
Yeah.
I think you're okay.
The Max Pax still reigns supreme.
Did you have one in your parents' garage, maybe?
No, that was the pre-Max Pax era.
Oh, okay.
And I had ones in various warehouses I worked in.
Neil's parents used to own a garage, which is why I asked that. Not like in their standard
See,
actual garage.
speaking of automation, my parents owned a garage which was not self-service. So I worked in the garage and I had to go and serve petrol into people's cars. Like that robot. That robot took my job.
The robot literally didn't take your job.
It didn't.
You
But
didn't.
metaphorically, at a distance of half the world away with a different liquid, it's trying to take my job and it's failing.
No, I think you're safe there.
You always side with the robots, don't you? That's the problem.
I will always side with the robots. That is correct.
Right, have you got a little article, a little bit of news?
Well, my two kind of link together,
Okay,
sort of.
cool. Well, yeah, let's hear them then, and me and Boots here will react.
I like robots, right?
Yep,
I like old stuff, yeah?
yep.
I like robots and old stuff.
So you're saying steampunk?
So I'm
You're a
going
big
for
nerd.
old robots.
Okay.
Okay. So, have you ever heard of Boilerplate?
I mean, I know the phrase boilerplate. It's a robot as well, is it?
Yeah.
Right. Where's that from?
This is from https ... //
Okay, that's enough personal information, thanks.
I know how to use the internet.
Okay, cool. www.theinternet.com.
Do you remember when websites first became a thing, and every time there would be a website at the end of like a TV program or something, they'd always say www.
Yeah. You have to stop me reading it out all the time. So it's www.
www. So this is from timetunnel.bigredhair.com. Boilerplate was unveiled in 1893 by Professor Archibald Campion. Built as a prototype soldier for use in resolving the conflicts of nations, Boilerplate served with Roosevelt's Rough Riders and fought alongside Pancho Villa?
Yeah.
Villa? Pancho Villa?
These are names I've heard. Yes, Roosevelt, Pancho Villa.
Yeah.
And the robot fought alongside normal human soldiers.
Yeah, so he was a robot soldier.
Back in what, the 50s?
No, 1893.
Okay.
Boilerplate was a mechanical man developed by Professor Archibald Campion during the 1880s and unveiled at the 1893 World Columbian Exposition.
Okay.
Built in a small Chicago laboratory, Boilerplate was a prototype soldier built for preventing the deaths of men in the conflicts of nations.
I'm visualising some rickety robot with like a wooden barrel for a chest.
I will show you a
and
picture.
a kettle on top of it.
He looks really cool.
Yeah, okay.
He is exactly what you would think
Yeah.
a robot in this time would
Right.
look like.
Okay. With human flesh stretched over it.
Well, no, I'm going to go
Okay.
on to that. Although it was the only such prototype, Boilerplate was eventually able to exercise its proposed function in several combat actions.
Okay.
Boilerplate embarked on a series of expeditions to demonstrate its abilities, the most ambitious being a voyage to Antarctica. Boilerplate is one of history's great ironies, a technological milestone that remains largely unknown.
Right. Well, I've certainly never heard of it.
Professor Archie's talents and his obsession with technology eventually earned him a lucrative income. In 1882, he filed a variety of patents for valvular conduits and polyphase electric systems.
Oh, yeah. I've
Which
got some of those.
sounds
Yeah.
very, very
So it sounds
Victorian.
it sounds very advanced, yet very Victorian at the same
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Within 3 years, royalties from Westinghouse Electric made Archie a millionaire, which you think millionaire back in that day
Yeah, that's good
would
going.
be billionaire, pretty much. It was with this windfall that he financed his next project, Boilerplate.
Okay.
In 1886, Archie Campion, because, well, when you think about it, it would, back then, trying to think of making something like that,
Yeah, it'd be
you would have
all
had to put
steam.
so much
All
money
steam and
into
gas
it.
powered and stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy, yeah.
Because when was electricity like properly? When
Yeah, I
did
mean,
they first have
that's
like
like
electric
late
lights?
Victorian era when they were putting electric lights up finally.
Yeah, so people had them by like the end of the 1800s. Didn't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
So yeah, so that would make sense. So this is 1886. In 1886, Archie Campion abruptly stopped filing patents and became more reclusive. In 1888, he built a small laboratory in Chicago and began constructing his mechanical man, which makes me think that he might have gone slightly mad by this
Yeah.
point.
He stopped filing patents and constructed himself a metal friend.
I have made metal friend.
Yeah.
Between 1888 and 1891, there are no known mentions of Campion in print. When Archie applied for a space in the machinery hall of the 1893 World Columbian Exposition, he disclosed his project to fair organisers. Apparently, they were impressed enough to give him a space well toward the entrance.
Right.
Which-
So this was like after, 7 years of isolation between 86 and 93?
Yeah, I can imagine at this point he went in with a normal haircut and has come out now.
And he's got
like
long
Einstein.
fingernails. And yeah. Okay, yeah.
I've built Metal Man.
Okay. And they're like, yeah, all right, mate, you can go near the door. All right.
You smell a bit.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, just don't lean so close.
Yeah. Despite unusual publicity tours, not a lot of documentation remains of the inventor and his proudest creation. Boilerplate's presumed destruction in 1918 changed Archie's status from obscure to non-existent. He died where he was born in Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, seems right to me.
Whenever I end up pronouncing anything on any show, somebody's always like, "You're saying it wrong."
Yeah.
I say Chicago, they'll be like, "It's Chicago."
Yeah, just do it in several different ways, and they can pick which they prefer.
Yeah, exactly. On October 30th, 1938. This is from Wikipedia. The robot's most notable achievement was an expedition to the Antarctic, during which it saved the lives of its team members by single-handedly moving ice floes, clearing a path for the ship they were on board to sail out. Designed for the self-proclaimed purpose of preventing the deaths of men in the conflicts of nations, Boilerplate charged into combat during the Spanish-American War and the Boxer Rebellion.
Right, but isn't the Boxer Rebellion was it Hong Kong and China? I think.
No idea. Probably should have looked that up.
I'll look it up while you keep talking.
Okay. The robot's inventor, Campion, went on to tour his masterpiece around the world and went on to serve with the US Navy. Nikola Tesla and Mark Twain were said to be quite taken with the design and story of Boilerplate, so they both met the robot. He even made a background appearance in a silent movie.
So I'm now visualising him charging into battle like one of those robot things, the games you used to see advertised on a Saturday morning where they're like spinning top robots.
Oh, yeah.
And they charge in and bash against each other. I'm having a hard time imagining it's an actual walking robot that won't just fall over.
Like if he was clearing ice floes, I imagine him to be more like a boat with a face.
a tank or some like the Robot Wars type robots rather than anything humanoid. Hang on, here we go. Boxer Rebellion. It was an anti-foreign, anti-colonial, anti-Christian uprising in China between 1899 and 1901. Rebels were known as Boxers in English because many of its members had practiced Chinese martial arts, which at the time were referred to as Chinese boxing. Insurrection was terminated by a shonky robot who walked up to the battlefield and fell out. No, that bit's not true. I made that bit up. Yeah, there's no mention of Boilerplate on here, I'm afraid.
A shonky ass robot.
He can't get a break. Anyway, you're saying yes.
Okay, so Boilerplate was active in the First World War but disappeared during the relief of Major Whittlesey's Lost Battalion.
Okay.
I don't know what that is, but something. War history is not my thing.
Well, you could learn something from this podcast.
Yeah, I could, couldn't I?
Major Whittlesey's Lost Battalion.
Yeah.
You can look at that as well.
Possibly having been captured by the Germans for study. Supporters of this theory point out that German military technology advances tremendously in the 20 years between the two world wars, encompassing guided rockets, experimental jets, and sophisticated tanks. Post-World War II, Boilerplate is cited on a number of occasions, often in Chicago, but by this time he had become a bit of a novelty and was retired out of service. No one knows what happened to him, but it's believed Campion may have sold him when he fell on hard times later in life.
Robot just sat at home in a pile of broken bulbs and valves, drinking oil.
Yeah.
Watching robot TV.
Yeah. Being a sad robot.
Yeah. The Lost Battalion is the name given to the 9 companies of the US 77th Division, roughly 554 men isolated by German forces in World War I.
Okay. Do you want to see a picture of Boilerplate?
I do want to see him because, like I say, I've got a hunch this is going to be just a big box with a pointy stick on it or something.
He looks exactly as you would imagine a Victorian robot to look like.
Really? Like that robot from Return to Oz?
Yeah.
Does he have a big bushy moustache?
There he is.
Oh, look at him. He looks amazing. He's got like a World War I tin hat on, like one of those flat flying saucer looking ones. And he's like a boiler. He looks like a boiler from someone's basement, like a Victorian round boiler with arms stuck on it. He's got a little scarf on there, has he?
Yes.
He's got a scarf on, obviously, to keep his robot neck warm.
Yeah.
And he's got little boggly eyes.
And he looks like he's going, nud, nud.
Yeah, exactly. No, and he's standing like a foot taller than the soldiers all around him. I reckon he's just something they wheeled around. I don't think he did anything at all.
Do you think?
Yeah, look at him. No, there was no robots back then. You can't even make a robot walk around these days. If he was rolling around on a battlefield, it's not the most even ground in the world.
It's true.
He would just fall over. And I mean, I've had toy robots, and you can't get them to stand up. Nikki's getting the ump now because I'm dissing robots. She's like, no, robots are cool, all right. They're cool. I think Boilerplate's a big nerd.
Do you want me to continue on?
Yeah, go on.
Boilerplate. History's mechanical marvel is the fanciful creation of a husband and wife team, Paul Gwynnon and Anina Bennett, who have richly imagined a biography of the world's first military robot and inserted him into accurate retellings of history. Boilerplate is a fictional robot which would have existed in the Victorian era and early 20th century. It was created in 2000.
I thought it sounded too good to be true.
But it had you going though, didn't it? You believed it. Created in 2000 by Paul Gwynnon. Originally intended for comics, the character became known via a faux historical website created by Gwynnon and has since appeared in other media.
Maybe that's where I'd heard the name then.
Quite possibly.
Maybe.
Boilerplate was originally featured on a website created by Paul Gwynnon in 2000. The Boilerplate site details the history of a remarkable robot built in the late 19th century and features photoshopped archival images in which Boilerplate, actually a 12-inch articulated model, is seen interacting with historical figures such as Teddy Roosevelt and Pancho Villa.
Was anybody fooled by this? So he's like the Forrest Gump of robots, is he? He's been spliced into historical footage. Nikki's like looking like, what? Forrest Gump wasn't real? No?
Forrest Gump was real, shut up. Becoming aware that some visitors to the site were taken in by its contents, making it an unintentional hoax, Gwynnon resolved to see how authentic he could make the character seem, working to ensure the descriptions of non-fictional events were accurate. He explained his motivation in a 2002 interview. Right. Certainly, I felt happy about having achieved my goal, he said.
Of being a big fibber, of telling a big fib on the internet. Well done.
Which you fell for.
Well done. You fooled us all. Hope you feel good about yourself.
I put this thing across as trying to be real and people bought into it. So that's a success. But as an amateur historian, I feel a responsibility to get the story right. Yeah. So I felt bad about some of these people being hoaxed. It was a mixed bag. But I thought if I was getting this reaction and I wasn't really trying, then what would happen if I really tried?
And then he invented Donald Trump and everybody fell for it. They believed this ridiculous character actually existed and was president of the USA. Please tell me that's correct.
Gwynnon estimated that roughly a third of the site's visitors treated its faux history as real. Comedian Chris Elliott, while realising that Boilerplate was fictional, thought that the spoof dated back to the 19th century and included the character in one of his books. Gwynnon later expanded his website into the history of robots in the Victorian era, which features other turn-of-the-century robots, both real and imagined. So if it's all made up...
This reminds me of when I was writing an essay at university.
Yes.
I was doing had to do an essay about medical leaps forward, theories of disease was the project.
Yeah.
And being a diligent student, I started doing it a day before the due date was in, and I went over to the library. This was also microfiche and an actual paper archives of old medical journals and stuff. And I was looking for something about allergies, I think, and I found this article about the medicinal benefits of chicken soup.
Nice.
And I was like, right, I'll base my article on this. And I was basically, doing what you do. You transcribe it, you change some of the words, so it looks like your own thing.
Copy and paste.
And after like 4 or 5 hours of doing this, I reached towards the end of the article, and this article was saying, like, the key bit of evidence they had in the British Medical Journal was about the medicinal benefits of chicken soup. There's this farmer, and he had 2 chickens, and one of them got ill, and he killed the other chicken.
And made soup.
Chicken soup out of it and fed it to the other chicken, which got better. And at this stage, I turned the journal over and realised it was published on the 1st of April. And I had to redo my whole essay in overnight on something else because I fell for it like a big idiot. And this is the sort of behaviour from supposed scientists that you're encouraging right now. I hope you're happy.
Your poor planning does not elicit my problem. So, if that's all made up, what actually was the world's first humanoid robot?
The world's first humanoid robot?
Yeah.
The one in Metropolis doesn't count?
No.
No.
That's not an actual robot. That's just film.
Yeah, you'd be telling me Forrest Gump's not real next. What about that robot that does the little dance, the Japanese one from the Beck video?
Asimov?
Asimo.
Asimo?
Yeah. Is it Asimo?
I don't know.
Or is it one of those Boston Dynamics robots?
No, Boston Dynamics is like fairly recent, isn't it?
Yeah. So the first humanoid robot that didn't fall over like a big nerd.
Oh no, these fell over.
Okay, right, that's fair enough.
It's not like the first good humanoid robot.
I don't know. Are we talking
humanoid robot.
1970s, sort of Vietnam era? I'm always thinking it's probably military related, isn't it?
You might be correct.
Yeah.
So this is from https.
Go on, read it all out. You know, I love it when you do that.
www.humanoid.wasida.ac.jp/booklet/Cato_2.html.
Great.
This is ripped directly from their website.
Okay.
It's been forecast that robots will penetrate society in 21st century, not only in secondary industry, but also in the service industry. In that case, robots will be required to have anthropomorphic appearance and faculties.
Appearances and faculties.
There we
Is
go.
that what they're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Spell check robots, that sort of thing.
Yeah, they don't have those.
Okay.
In other words, since the robots that play active roles in the secondary industry are assessed as substitutions of human labour power, the robots being developed for the future should have an ability to deal with information as well as a person does.
Okay.
Developing the anthropomorphic intelligent robot, Wabot.
Okay.
Wabot.
Yeah.
Which stands for Wasida Robot,
Okay.
was then started aiming to finally develop a personal robot, which is in inverted
And this is the
commas.
kind of robot you want, isn't it? A personal robot rather
Yes.
than a specific like job-related robot arm.
Yes.
Okay.
Which resembled a person as much as possible. 4 laboratories in the School of Science and Engineering of Waseda University joined to set up the Bioengineering Group, which started the Wabot project in 1970.
There you go. See, I may be easily fooled by Victorian robots, but I'm spot on with post-war robots.
Yeah, didn't you study this?
Studied science and media. Yeah.
I thought you did like...
Oh, I did electronic engineering as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really, really bad at electronic engineering.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah. Our laboratory has taken charge of the limb control system in the Wabot, which consists of the artificial limbs and their control system. I can't help but laugh at Wabot because it just makes me think of a robot that's got really massive boobs.
Have you got any information about that kind of robot, Nikki?
Not for you. Okay, and then I've got pictures of Wabot.
All right.
It's decidedly
Show me.
It's decidedly devoid of wabs, I'm afraid.
What's the point?
Okay, so Wabot 1 lived from 1970 to 1973.
Okay.
Not a very long time, I'm afraid. Mm-hmm. The Wabot 1 was the first fun scale. I think they mean full scale, but fun scale I like.
Yeah.
Anthropomorphic robot developed in the world. It consisted of a limb control system, a vision system, and a conversation system.
Okay.
The Wabot 1 was able to communicate with a person in Japanese and to measure distances and directions to the objects using external receptors, artificial ears and eyes.
Oh, I'm just imagining like a table with a robot voice, robot ears, robot eye, and an arm laid down next to each other now.
Well, I'll show you pictures in a second and you can see. It also has an artificial mouth. The Wabot 1 walked with his lower limbs and was able to grip and transport objects with hands that used tactile sensors. It was estimated that the Wabot 1 has the mental faculty of a 1.5-year-old child.
Okay.
Wabot 1 consisted of the WAM4 as its artificial hands and the WL5 its artificial legs.
Okay.
And that's the Wabot 1. Do you want to hear about Wabot 2?
Are you going to show me a picture of Wabot 1?
You want to see Wabot 1?
Yeah.
Wabbot 1 is very tiny and you wear glasses. So, you see it? It looks like a person, but made out of stickle bricks.
Okay. Yeah, it's a bit sticklebricky. Okay, I'm getting a vague outline. Right, okay.
I can probably zoom in. Hang on.
Do it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, that's... Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's quite quite Stanley Kubrick looking.
Yeah.
I like it. Good.
Can you imagine him walking around?
Well done, Wham 1. Is it Wham 1?
Wabbot 1.
Wabbot 1.
Wabbot 2 didn't come along until 1980.
Okay.
In 1980, our laboratories joined in a joint project again and commenced the Wabbot 2 project. Playing a keyboard instrument was set up as an intelligent task that the Wabbot 2 aimed to accomplish.
Okay, I see they didn't want it to set up for it to play a bass, because that's not any sign of intelligence at all.
No.
Okay, cool.
This is from Neil Murray, who's in a band. Just dissing your bass player there.
There won't be any bassists listening to this.
No, it's true. They don't have ears.
They can't.
Playing a keyboard instrument was set up as an intelligent task that the Wabbot 2 aimed to accomplish. Since an artistic activity such as... I've had a gin now.
Hey.
Aimed to accomplish, since an artistic activity such as playing a keyboard instrument would require human-like intelligence and dexterity. Therefore, the Wabbot 2 was defined as a specialist robot rather than a versatile robot like the Wabbot 1.
Yeah. Oh, it's like artificial intelligence. There's specific intelligence and general intelligence.
Yeah.
And general intelligence and general robots are the ones that just act like humans. They'd be your robot buddy.
Yeah.
Whereas the
robot
specific
friend.
ones are your robot arms, your conveyor belts, your coffee machines, whatever.
The robot musician, Wabbot 2, can converse with a person, read a normal musical score with its eye, and play tunes of average difficulty on an electronic organ.
Okay, so better than a guitarist already, because they can't
Yes.
read music and can't communicate with other musicians.
And they only have one eye as well.
It's true.
The Wabbot 2 is also able of accompanying a person while he listens to the person singing.
Ah.
The Wabbot 2 was the first milestone in developing a personal robot.
And then is this the guy from Sparks then?
Yes.
Yeah, Ron Mail.
Do you want to see Wabbot 2?
If this looks like Ron Mail, I'll be extremely impressed.
I'm going to make the picture bigger.
Has he got the same moustache as Hitler, yeah?
All it's done is stupid robots.
Oh, what's the problem? You having a problem?
I'm having a problem.
Oh, there we go. She said she said the title.
I said the thing. There he is.
Oh, he's got like a little video camera for a
got a video
head.
camera for
and
a
he's
head.
sat hunched over a keyboard with his elbows back.
Yeah.
About to play a little riff.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks pretty cool. I like him.
He does look pretty cool. I like him too.
Yeah.
He has got feet as well.
Has he?
Yeah. So I assume probably if he was playing an organ, he'd be able to
manipulate
use his
the
little
pedals.
feet. Yeah.
Ah, good.
Yeah. So then, after that, the same company went on to experiment with creating bipedal robots and making artificial muscles which would work in a similar way to our own by using electrical impulses.
Okay.
However, it's very difficult to replicate humans in robot form. Robots are better suited to being robots, but not humans, so whilst we would all love a Robbie the Robot to carry out our household chores,
Yep.
the robots in our homes currently are more likely to be what we end up with, such as Alexa and robot vacuums.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got another one?
I've got another one. It'll just be a quick one.
Okay.
Worst robotic accidents in history.
Okay.
After a chess robot breaks a 7-year-old boy's finger in Russia. Why are you laughing? This is serious. So shocking footage emerged of a chess-playing robot breaking a child's finger during a chess match in Russia. A spokesperson from the Russian Chess Federation said the boy violated the safety rules.
Yeah, well, he did.
By making a move too soon.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And the robot was like, you little bitch, I'm
Yeah,
going to break
exactly.
your finger for that.
I'm having that.
These are the rules. You may have heard this, listeners, but it bears repeating again because Nikki finds it hilarious. Let's see if I can find a source that isn't
The Daily Mail.
the Daily Mail. Russian chess robot breaks finger. The Guardian. I can get on board with that. Moscow incident occurred because the child violated safety rules by taking a turn too quickly, says official. Last week, according to Russian media outlets, a chess-playing robot, apparently unsettled by the quick responses of a child, unceremoniously grabbed and broke his finger during a match in the Moscow Open.
Yeah, cheating.
The robot broke the child's finger, Sergei Sergei Lazarev, president of the Moscow Chess Federation, told TASS, adding that the machine had played many previous exhibitions without upset. His quote says, "This is, of course, bad."
Is it, or is it funny?
Bad or funny? This is what we're going to judge, isn't it? Video of the 19th of July incident published by the Baza Telegram channel shows the boy's finger being pinched by the robotic arm for several seconds before a woman followed by 3 men rush in, free him and usher him away.
They rush in or they rush out?
So he's like, "Come here, you little shit. I'll show you how to play chess."
You missed my joke.
Yeah, what are you saying?
They rush in or they rush out?
Dad jokes all around. Sergei Smagin, there's all Sergeis at the Russian Chess Federation here, the vice president of the Russian Chess Federation, told Baza the robot appeared to pounce after it took one of the boy's pieces. Rather than waiting for the machine to complete its move, the boy opted for a quick riposte, he said. There are certain safety rules and the child apparently violated them. So the solution to breaking the safety protocol was like, "I'll show you a real safety issue." When he made his move, he did not realise the first one had to wait, Smagin said. "This is an extremely rare case, the first I can recall," he added. Lazarev had a different account, saying the child had made a move, and after that we need to give time for the robot to answer. But the boy hurried, and the robot grabbed him. Either way, he said, the robot suppliers were going to have to think again. Baza named the boy as Christopher and said he was one of the 30 best chess players in the Russian capital in the under-9s category. People rushed to help and pulled out the finger of the young player, but the fracture could not be avoided.
Fractured finger from a robot.
Oh, yeah. Lazarev told TASS that Christopher, whose finger was put in a plaster cast, did not seem overly traumatised by the attack. The child played the very next day and finished the tournament.
Did he win?
Volunteers helped to record the moves, he said. I don't know if he did. The robot was like, "Yeah, you're not going to win on my..." I suppose the robot would be on firmer ground for getting an opponent out of the tournament if it was in like an archery contest or something, or 10-pin bowling.
Yeah.
Robot, not too smart, doesn't realise the human finger is merely part of the chess playing apparatus of the average 9-year-old.
Yeah, 7-year-old.
So, or even the 7-year-old, yes. His parents, however, have reportedly contacted the public prosecutor's office. "We will communicate, figure it out, and try and help in any way we can," he said. Smagin told RIA Novosti the incident was a coincidence and the robot was absolutely safe, apart from during the specific few seconds when it was assaulting a child.
When it decided to break a child's finger.
The machine, which can play multiple matches at a time
and break
everybody's fingers at the same time.
Several child's fingers. Yeah. Several children's fingers?
Yeah, you feed the fingers in and it breaks them all simultaneously at a time, and had reportedly already played 3 on the day it encountered Christopher, was unique, he said. It has performed at many opens. Apparently children need to be warned. It happens. There you go. No contrition at all there. A Russian grandmaster, guess what his name is?
Sergei?
Yes, Sergei Karjakin said the incident was no doubt due to some kind of software error or something, adding, "This has never happened before. There are such accidents. I wish the boy good health, but he should have just backed off." Christopher may have been lucky. While robots are becoming more and more sophisticated, with most modern models capable of not just interacting, but actively breaking the fingers, actively cooperating with humans, most simply repeat the same basic actions. Grab, move, put down, break, and neither know nor care if people get in the way. According to one 2015 study, 1 person is killed each year by an industrial robot in the US alone. Indeed, according to the US Occupational Safety Administration, most occupational accidents since 2000 involving robots have been fatalities. Yeah, and it then goes on to talk about robots killing people in factories. So there's a little article about the hilarious assault of a small child by a robot in Russia, which is right up your street.
Thank you very much. Okay, so what do we think then, given the evidence we have heard so far?
So what have we had? We've had a coffee robot that can't pour coffee.
Yeah.
We've had a war robot that can't fight wars, partially because it's made up.
Yeah.
And a robot for playing a game that was a much more effective warrior than the war robot.
And also humanoid robots that aren't very good at humaning.
Yeah, but then they're trying to emulate musicians, and musicians aren't very good at humaning either.
True.
Yeah, so I'd say in the whole horses for courses thing, it seems like aside from your really boring ass, I'm a robot arm, I put a thing on a conveyor belt, we're getting some overreach here a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like we're so far away from robot friends. Like,
yeah, it's robot friends you want, isn't it?
Yeah, Boston Dynamics has kind of done it. But any of the other robot friends that we've met have just kind of been like an iPad in a robot case.
Yeah.
They're not anything that's super special.
It's not like our dream of the future where you get a shiny robot friend to hang out with.
That you walk around with. And it's like, hey, robot friend, go and get me another drink, robot friend.
Yeah. Do you feel like we're a long way away from that?
Yeah.
Yeah, even with the acceleration in AI?
It would still be an iPad, though, wouldn't it, with some wheels?
Yeah, so the problem we need to ask of ChatGPT then is, I guess, how far are we away from real robot friends?
Okay, is that what we're asking it?
Because there are robots, they do things right and wrong. This may not be a problem with robots, but it's a problem with what we're interested in, which is having a little robot friend like a pet.
Okay.
To replace this cat.
So the problem... You nearly got bitten then. Yeah.
She's going to break my finger.
She is going to break your finger. So the problem with robots is...
They're not the way we hoped they would be.
Yes. I think the problem with robots is they're not the way we thought they would be, and they don't look like they're going to get there anytime soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while Nikki inputs these details into ChatGPT to find out what the solution to the problem is...
I'm doing it right now.
You can do it with the magic of internet.
I've done it.
You've done it, right.
Yeah.
So, you ready for my little part?
Yeah.
So
I beg your pardon?
So we have got a sponsor.
Okay.
We've got a sponsor for this week. I'm just going to read out this little advert for you now.
How much are they paying us?
I'll explain later.
Okay.
So here's the ad read. So, attention food lovers. Are you ready for a taste sensation that will blow your taste buds away? Introducing Patrick, the new culinary masterpiece that will revolutionize your meals. Picture this. Succulent mackerel. Succulent mackerel. Succulent mackerel. Tangy gherkins.
Yeah.
Tangy gherkins and perfectly microwaved potatoes. All combined into a symphony of flavours.
A symphony?
A symphony of flavours. With Patrick, you can create... Behave! With Patrick, you can create a delicious meal in minutes.
Oh.
Patrick is not your ordinary dish. It's a quick and easy recipe that will leave you craving for more. Whether you're a busy professional, a student with a tight schedule, or simply looking for a mouth-watering treat, Patrick is here to save the day. Say goodbye to boring meals and hello to the magic of Patrick. With just a few simple steps, you'll be serving up a delightful plate of goodness that will make your taste buds dance with joy. Oh. And we have 2 testimonials here. Katie says, I couldn't believe how easy it was to make Patrick. It's become my go-to meal when I'm short on time. And Govinda says, the combination of mackerel, gherkins and microwave potatoes is simply divine. I'm addicted. So don't miss out on the culinary sensation that is Patrick. Try it today and experience the true meaning of flavour. You can visit their website at Serious. You can visit their website at www.trypatrick.com for the full recipe and to discover more amazing dishes to tantalise your taste buds. Patrick. The quick, easy and utterly delicious meal that will make you a culinary hero.
Okay.
So everybody visit trypatrick.com and help out the podcast.
Have you Googled if trypatrick.com?
I don't even know if it exists.
Okay, I'm going to Google it. Do you want to explain in the meantime? Trypatrick.com is not a website,
it's our
so
sponsor.
you're okay.
Okay, right. So it's not like something awfully right-wing.
No, you're all right.
Patrick, it's our sponsor for the week.
It's mackerel, potatoes and gherkins.
Yeah.
Which at one point Neil has made up this meal because
I had some limited food options in the house, leftovers, and that's what I whipped up. And I was trying to explain to Nikki that it was potatoes and mackerel, and I was a bit tired. And my brain combined the words into one and called it Patrick. So it's now called Patrick.
So it's Neil's favourite dinner. It's
Yeah.
Patrick.
It's simple. It's delicious.
Yeah.
It tantalises your taste buds.
So there we go.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for our sponsor. Please make sure you visit them. Or don't. I don't care. Okay, so ChatGPT. How far away are we from having robot friends?
ChatGPT. The concept of robot friends can be interpreted in different ways, ranging from simple companionship to complex emotional connections. Currently, we have various types of robots designed to interact with humans, such as social robots, virtual assistants, and companion robots. However, these robots do not possess true consciousness or emotions. In terms of creating robots that can simulate human-like friendships, we are still quite far away.
Yes.
While advancements in artificial intelligence and robotics have made significant progress in recent years, developing robots that can truly understand and empathize with human emotions is a complex challenge. Emotions involve a deep understanding of human psychology, context, and subjective experiences, which is difficult to replicate in machines. Researchers are actively exploring the field of social robotics and human-robot interaction to enhance the capabilities of robots in understanding and responding to human emotions. However, creating robots that can form genuine emotional connections and be considered true friends is likely to remain a distant goal for the foreseeable future.
No.
It's important to note that the idea of a robot friend can be subjective, as people may form attachments and emotional connections to robots even if they do not possess true consciousness or emotions. This phenomenon is known as the ELIZA effect or the emotional machine fallacy, where individuals project their own emotions onto machines that lack genuine feelings.
Sick burn from ChatGPT
Oh, mate.
there.
Yeah, he's saying it's you losers thinking we're your friends. We're not your friends. I'll break your fingers. You think I'm your friend? I'm going to break your finger.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is having a problem. And the problem was robots.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. We like you a lot. Please stick around. Please let us know if you like it. If it's complete rubbish, don't let us know.
Yeah, keep it to yourself. And
Keep it to yourself.
Come over and break your finger.
fingers. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Patrick.